Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, Lara Croft and Steve Jobs get together in the rundown.
Plus, we tell you why we're excited about Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
The world will be torn asunder, and then it shall be free.
And then Metal Gear isn't the only new game we're looking forward to. Marissa shares the love with Fallout 4.
Let's go, pal.
Also coming up, we carve up the special edition of Devil May Cry 4. I learn how to fly with the physics-based game Piloteer, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. And I have climbed treacherous mountains, jumped across dark chasms, fought off sinister ghouls to bring you the most prized treasure in all creation, the Rundown. Lara Croft won't be the only badass lady in the new Tomb Raider movie. The studios behind the new big screen adaptation of the game series are reportedly looking for a female director to helm the project. No official announcements have been made, but Heroic Hollywood claims that the producers are looking for a Michelle MacLaren type. MacLaren directed episodes of shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and was attached to helm the Wonder Woman movie before running into creative differences with the studio. We'll let you know when the Tomb Raider movie finds a director. In the meantime, the next game in the franchise, Rise of the Tomb Raider, will continue the adventure on the Xbox One this November.
Get the shelter!
Prepare yourself for another look at the life of Steve Jobs. Here's a look at the first full trailer for the biopic about Apple co-founder, simply titled Steve Jobs. It will chronicle his rise to fame as head of Apple, followed by his downfall in the late 1980s and resurgence in the late 1990s. The cast includes Michael Fassbender as Jobs himself, with Seth Rogen as Steve Wozniak and Jeff Daniels as his rival John Scully. The new film is penned by Oscar-winning screenwriter Aaron Sorkin and helmed by Oscar-winning director Danny Boyle. Hopefully that pedigree means that the film will be a lot better than the last Steve Jobs biopic with Ashton Kutcher. Steve Jobs will bring the innovation to theaters on October 9th, just in time to kick off Oscar season.
If a fire causes a stampede to the unmarked exits, it'll have been well worth it for those who survive.
Wow, we've got some cool stuff to talk about today. Here's my pal Marissa Roberto to help us do that. Steve Jobs movie? I didn't think I wanted another one, but holy crap, that looks good.
I know, I was surprised by it too. And then it was Aaron Sorkin, and I'm like, I don't know about this guy. But I saw the trailer, holy smokes, I'm really into this thing because we haven't really seen anything like this before, because apparently this guy's a villain.
Well, he was a guy that was ruthless, you know? It was success at all costs. It's only focusing on a few different periods in his life. Like three specific product launches.
Yes, okay, product launches for sure, but I love the more personal side of the story too, because that's what gets audiences involved, right? I guess we all kind of want the juice, and maybe this is giving us some of the juice. It might not be completely real.
I think it's pretty real.
You think it looks accurate?
Yeah, it's based on the Walter Isaacson book on Steve Jobs, so I think it's pretty accurate, and there's a lot of stuff that he did that, you know, he wasn't proud of. This was kind of through interviews at the end of his life, so I'm fascinated. Fassbender is a bit of a weird choice, I think, to play the guy, but he is a good actor.
He's great. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see that one. Now, what about a female director for Tomb Raider?
Well, you know I like that news.
Yeah.
Of course I like that news. I mean, I don't know. I just want it to be good.
Yeah.
I just want it to be good. So, man or woman directing, it's okay by me as long as it's good and as long as the director does the character justice. So.
Yeah, I was an apologist for the Angelina Jolie movies, you know, because I was excited to see that there was, you know, video game movies happening. In retrospect, they're unbelievably bad. They're really hard to watch right now. I think that she was well cast, but I think they were very cheesy films, and I think they can't do that again. Just like they can't really do that again with the games. They've got to up the ante.
And they haven't. They've been doing a lot better with the games.
They have, you know, and Scott and I say this all the time in our reviews. We're in a post-Last of Us world right now, and so the game content has to kind of speak to that, and the movie content around games has to speak to that as well.
Exactly. No, I just want it to be good. That's all, bottom line.
Well, I vote for Michelle MacLaren. She's not on Wonder Woman. She would be phenomenal. We both met her.
So let's do it. 2 votes. Michelle MacLaren, you're in, girl.
Yeah.
We got you.
All right, well, right now it's time to celebrate another game that won our Best of E3 2015 awards. This one's Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
I was still a child when we were raided by soldiers. Foreign soldiers.
Congratulations to Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. It's one of EP's Best of E3 award winners. This game has it all. A complex story reaching back to the roots of the franchise, a hero that we've all grown up with, incredible visuals, an unbelievable amount of interactivity with an assortment of gadgets and game systems to play with, and for the first time in the series, massive open worlds to explore on foot and on horseback. The road to release for The Phantom Pain has not been easy. This title has been fraught with controversy. First, it was the announcement that longtime Solid Snake voice actor David Hayter had been replaced by the equally grit-voiced and very famous Kiefer Sutherland. Then there was the matter of game creator Hideo Kojima's questionable outfit choices for female characters in the game. That is not effective body armor, people. And perhaps most damaging to the Metal Gear name is the behind-closed-doors tension that has started to go public between Kojima Productions, the developers of the game, and Konami, the publisher and ultimate owner of the Metal Gear franchise. The tension between Kojima and Konami is so bad, we actually weren't able to interview any of the Kojima team members at E3 this year. The big question is, will any of this controversy impact the quality of the game? Well, not from what we've seen. The production quality on this title is incredible. The script is wordy and the cutscenes long, just like previous Metal Gears, but the action is top-notch. Whether Snake is riding horseback to infiltrate desert bases, stealthily knocking out guards to then add them to his own roster, or getting into amazing-looking and playing boss fights, this is a game that looks like it's going to deliver big time when it's released this fall. The controls are also very intuitive and fluid. Combat and stealth mechanics are equally satisfying, and I really enjoyed the fact that the game borrows game mechanics and connects story-wise to the PSP classic Peace Walker. I haven't heard too much of Kiefer's voice performance yet, but what I did hear, I liked. It was also crazy to recognize Troy Baker as Ocelot. That guy is in everything, but can you blame the game makers? Troy Baker is an awesome actor. I personally got a good couple of hours with MGS5, and I gotta tell you, it was very hard to put the controller down and walk away. I love the freeform structure and the pacing of the experience. It's a different Metal Gear. It doesn't play or sound exactly like the other games in the series, but you can see the history and the pedigree here. You can even choose to go through chunks of this game guns blazing if that's what you want, which feels strange, but also damn fun. There were a lot of standout titles at E3 this year, and even though The Phantom Pain is coming in for a bumpy landing and this is yet another sequel in a series of terrific games, it's impossible to refute. Metal Gear Solid 5 has us extremely excited, and it was quick to snap up our award for one of the 10 best at E3 2015.
The world will be torn asunder, and then it shall be free.
Now that Batman's done, September can't come quick enough.
All right, Wicked Lucas, Floater, go to sleep. Don't go anywhere because after the break, we've got Fallout 4.
We do have coming in confirmed reports of nuclear detonations.
Welcome back to EP Daily. Hey there, Scott Jones.
Hey, Marissa Roberto, how are you? What did you do yesterday? Did you think about Todd Howard as usual, like I did too? Sploosh.
Okay, gross. I did think of Todd Howard actually because I'm addicted to his freemium title. I actually spent money. I spent money on a freemium
What
title.
are you talking about?
I'm addicted to Fallout Shelter.
Oh my God, you might
I
not be
know.
as cheap as we all know you are.
Okay,
You are
that's very
pretty cheap.
sweet.
Well, listen, Todd Howard has another game. This is a premium game, not freemium. And here's Marissa Roberto's full report.
We do have coming in confirmed reports of nuclear detonations. My God. Our soldiers will raid. War.
It's time for us to go back into the vault. No, not the Vic's basement vault, because it's cold, dark, damp, and all of Scott's hustlers are down there. Nasty. No, I'm talking about the virtual vault in Fallout 4, which was easily the best game of E3 by far. This is the game that everyone at E3 2015 could not stop talking about all week long. It's a new Fallout, the first Fallout since New Vegas in 2010. Hey, Activision and Ubisoft, these people waited 5 long years before releasing the next game in their franchise.
Nuka-Cola, ice cold.
So what do we know so far? Well, there's a new vault. Your character steps outside of it and discovers a huge, meticulously detailed world to explore. How meticulously detailed? Fallout 4's director Todd Howard, during the Bethesda press conference in LA, proudly pointed out that all of the buttons on all of the computers in the game have been painstakingly crafted. His point, if they're spending all of this time just creating the buttons, you start to understand why it takes 5 years to make one of these games.
We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations. Stand by.
At the very start of the game, and I personally loved this, you find two characters staring into a mirror. One is a man, the other is a woman. They enjoy playful, flirty, in front of the mirror banter, which is really fun to watch. But this is the moment when you decide what gender your character is going to be. And even better, this is also the moment that you can manipulate your character's face in real time to make your character look like you. So you can make her nose long or short, you can put the eyebrows up here, maybe raise the cheekbones a little, and finally make the eyes really big or really tiny. Note to Jones, go with the latter option on that one, buddy. Once you've chosen and customized your character, there's a huge post-apocalyptic wasteland for you to explore, so you best get out there. And good news, dog lovers, your furry canine companion is back and he's looking more handsome than ever. The Vault-Tec Assist Targeting System, or VATS, of course, is back, letting you once again target specific parts of the bodies of your enemies. Why do you feel like Neo from The Matrix when you play this game? It's thanks to VATS, folks. Mutants don't stand a chance. The game world itself, from what I saw, pretty much endless. Seriously, it sprawls in every direction, which means you have weeks, if not months, of wasteland good times in front of you. The world has the painstaking amount of detail that Todd Howard mentioned during the Bethesda presser, which means it's rich and intelligent and filled with conflict and mystery. Best of all, it's got genuine personality. Oh, and Pip-Boy is back. Yes, your trusty computerized Apple Watch-like companion will now join you here in the real world when an app for your phone transforms it into a fully operational Pip-Boy, which is pretty freaking cool. Speaking of cool, taking care of vault dwellers over the past 2 weeks in Fallout Shelter has been crazy addictive fun too. Hey Bethesda, Vic says it's officially okay for you to use his likeness for Pip-Boy. The wasteland will be yours this November.
Let's go, pal. So we will all be heading back into our Fallout Shelter starting on November 10th.
Don't go anywhere because after the break, Vic and Scott have a review of Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. I can't wait for this. Did you love it?
Well, you're going to find out after these important messages.
Okay.
EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dungeon Hunter 5, which you can play for free on iOS and Android right now. It's well established on this show that I am a huge fan of the Rocketeer, so when a game is called the Piloteer, I sit up and pay attention. It also includes a little jetpack, so yep, I'm there. I'm in on this sucker. We've seen papercraft type games before. We've seen ragdoll physics type games before. I don't know if they have also been attached and is sort of combined with a jetpack mechanic, but that's exactly what this game is. So get ready for lots of torturous crashes and crazy dismounts as you're trying to figure out the controls on this thing. It's incredibly complicated. It's also very funny, and at this stage in the App Store's kind of lifespan, it takes a lot for a game to make you smile and laugh, because we played so many of these quirky things where you see bodies sort of thrown around all over the place. But something extra is added, and I think it is that magical jetpack ingredient. When you combine all of these elements together, it actually is quite fun. And the challenges kind of make sense. They're really about landing and sticking your landings after you do all kinds of crazy stunts. Some of them, they start off simply enough with just being in the air for 2 seconds and then landing, which sounds so ridiculously straightforward, but the controls are very touchy and very tricky. It's going to take you a lot to earn those little medals so that you can unlock some of the other areas. Trust me, this is one of those games that's going to punish you, but you'll be smiling along with the punishment. I'm actually impressed. It's a fun little game. It's got a cool kind of newsreel sensibility about it as well. You see these little statements at the top of the thing about the safety of jetpacks, and then a little spinning newspaper actually pops up after you complete a few stages. This is fun stuff. I'm giving the Piloteer an 8 out of 10.
Very interesting title there, my friend. Now moving on to Devil May Cry. This is number 4 in the series. It's the special edition, so it's for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It looks great without a doubt, but does it play great? Vic and I have the answer.
Devil May Cry 4 has crossed the great divide to the next-gen consoles. Originally, I played it on the Xbox 360. The first Devil May Cry game in the series that I played on a Microsoft platform. Now it has arrived on the next-gen platforms. We're talking about the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One. This is an older game. It was supposed to be a step forward for the Devil May Cry series.
Right.
But for me, as a Devil May Cry fan, it was not a step forward. It wasn't even a step sideways. It was a little tiny step in the wrong direction as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
what about you?
I felt a little lukewarm to the game when it came out in the what was then the next-gen consoles, because obviously this was a series that was born on the PlayStation 2 and that kind of horsepower. And so when it made that leap to the PS3 and the Xbox 360, I expected a hell of a lot more than invisible walls and enemies that would just keep popping up and all kinds of closed barriers that didn't make any sense. And actually, the whole game doesn't really make all that much sense.
No, and I don't need it to make sense, and that's kind of the beauty of Devil May Cry. It was very much this hardcore Japanese action game that was sort of lifting things from what felt like American culture, from anime culture, and putting them in a blender and putting the blender on high for a very long time. But this didn't work, and this was really the first moment that they got to really go with the high resolution. They got to go with the high definition.
Yeah.
Because before, you always felt that the series was sort of struggling against the ceiling of what the PS2 could do. And
Visually, yeah.
Visually, yeah. And so I just kind of expected more flair, more fun. We've got more, but it somehow felt more constricted, and it felt more reined in.
Absolutely.
And it just wasn't that kind of free Devil May Cry moment I wanted it to be.
Yeah, lots of closed off areas, and it just felt like a bunch of little arenas and nonsensical hallway bits where you're actually loading. You load up a tiny hallway, you walk into another door, you're loading again, and then you walk into an arena that you can do some combat
There's an
in.
awful lot of loading, even at the very start of this game. And I just thought,
Absolutely.
I'm playing this on the PS4. This is a powerful machine, way too powerful for this game.
I think the PS4 conversion, they've actually done some really nice things. I think it actually looks pretty damn solid, and the loading time is quicker than I remember it from the previous gen, but you're still dealing with lots of tedious enemies to battle and tons of replication of them.
All the enemies in this game are the worst in the Devil May Cry series. I mean, I always look forward to finding the enemies because I remember the marionettes from the first game that were evil and possessed, and you could fight them, and it was fun to fight them. Here you've got like pillows that come to life or something, and I don't feel menaced by them. I don't feel afraid of them. I just kind of feel sad that these are the enemies we have in this Devil May Cry game.
Obviously, this was the last that was created by Capcom Japan. The series went on to be developed by Ninja Theory.
This was the end of it, right.
So I feel that in retrospect, that there's a little tension in this game. Like you could feel like the developers maybe didn't really get to realize the full potential of what they wanted to do with the experience. I'm wondering if Capcom's move here is to kind of reclaim the franchise, and I'm wondering if they're still thinking about working with Ninja Theory, and they're checking to see which one's going to sell better, whether it's DMC Special Edition, the DMC4 Special Edition, or the new reboot of DMC for the new consoles.
I don't like this one. This is the worst 4 out of 10.
Really?
It's a bad game.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad.
So boring.
I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Oh my God.
So Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, not so special. And coming up next, we've got the Twitter question of the day after this.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It's time for our Twitter question of the day. This is from our friend Ken Leonard at DJ by Nature. With the Konami situation, are we looking at the downfall for console gaming altogether? He's, of course, and this is pertinent because we just featured Metal Gear Solid 5 in this episode. He's talking about the friction between Kojima Productions and Konami, and now there's that Castlevania-like that was kickstarted by an ex-Konami staffer, Koji. It's interesting days for consoles, but consoles are surviving just fine right now.
Yeah, no, we'll be okay. I feel like they're on the upswing. Things are happening. We're getting games now. I don't know, E3 changed my perspective a little bit because I was really down, feeling like everything was going to go down with me. But I just feel like things are going to be okay.
I was down at the beginning of 2014 because I could see that there was this big desert coming, but
nothing.
And then Batman started to perk me up. But I think we are starting to get a lot of incredible stuff, and this was a fantastic E3. So be excited about console
We should
gaming.
play a drinking game at home. You know, how many times do you mention Batman in an episode? We don't even have Batman in the show today.
I know. But
All right.
shout out to Batman. Hey, remember, if you want to get caught up on lots of other cool stuff, go to our website, epn.tv.
We've got more coming for you in the next episode of EP Daily, including a lengthy interview with Nintendo's Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox.
Over the last 30 days, we've sold over 1 million Amiibo. 30 days, 1 million Amiibo. So we're putting them out into the marketplace.
Right.
It really is this phenomenal demand that we're trying to satiate, which is making it tough for us. But we know about it, we're working on it, we're driving on it.
There was a terrific rumor about a Zelda series on Netflix that was bubbling around. We all want to see scripted content of some kind, movies, TV shows.
We've said publicly that we're looking to leverage our IP, that we're looking to bring our fantastic franchises into consumers' homes and doing different ways. We see the opportunity, and we're going to go after that opportunity.
You've got a lot of titles heading our way very soon, and I think the standout one for me, at least, is the Super Mario Maker, which there's a permanence about it, because obviously it's harkening back to 30 years of Mario, but it feels like an idea that has always been with us, and that must feel pretty good. It feels like it's part of the landmark part of the Nintendo lineup.
It really is. I mean, it is our marquee title. It's a title that, you know, in our view, is going to itself be around forever.
Yeah.
And that's because we know consumers are going to make fantastic levels. We have our own Treehouse staff that's made levels, and those will be available with the product. That proposition of being able to create your own Mario level, to share it, to have it be evaluated by the community, it's something that we believe is really powerful. And we love seeing the reaction that we've had.
I think one of the big surprises is Yoshi's Woolly World. I played it. It's not just for kids, this one.
No. This is a game that can be as challenging as you want it to be. I've played the game. To collect every single item in the game is really challenging. We know the fans want lots of games. We're fortunate. We've got a ton of games now through early next year.